Hey everyone, this is Sasha bringing you a video tutorial today from BP4U, and today I'm going to be talking about editing modes. So in Photoshop Elements, we actually have three modes of editing. We are in Expert mode. There is also Guided and Quick mode. So if you are new to Photoshop Elements, and this is a new program and new territory for you, then guided mode is probably the best option for you. So let's go ahead and click on the first button here for brightness and contrast. So in guided mode, you actually get directions on how to use each tool. So you can see here that we have this auto fix button, or you can up the brightness or the contrast yourself, and you can get a look that is personal for you. And this is your undo button, your reset button. So we can go ahead and press cancel. The next one we have here is correct skin tones. So it says here that skin tone adjustments can be used to remove a color cast from a person's skin or give them a tan. So we use this here as our skin tone selector, and you click on their skin here, and it sort of fixes the white balance for you. And then you can come down here and you can use these sliders to further enhance it to fit your needs. So the next one we have is a crop photo, and again here you can crop based on a picture size. We've got 5x7, 8x10, 4x6 are the most popular sizes, or no restrictions, or use photo ratio, which will keep the aspect ratio of your photo. Once you decide that you are happy with it, then you can press the check mark, but if you don't want to use it, then you can press that little circle with the slash in it. You can also look at these grid overlays. So we've got the rule of thirds. We also have the golden ratio, or just a grid. You can use this one and the rule of thirds here to also enhance your composition and to give your composition a more interesting look through cropping. The next one we have here is enhance colors. So we have this auto fix button up here, or you can go ahead and undo that, and then we have our hue and we have our saturation buttons. And you can see here that as you adjust the sliders, you can fine-tune your image to get the look that you are desiring. The next one we have here is levels. So we have here a levels adjustment. So I can use this to bump my midtones or to brighten my midtones. I can use this to add black. I can use this to add whites. I can use this to lighten my shadows, or this to tone down my highlights. I can also drop down this menu, and I can do this again with the red, greens, and magentas. It was red and cyan. This is green and magenta. And here we've got blue and yellow. And so you can see here that you can change the color of your photo using the levels adjustment too. And again, you can see that we have a set of instructions that you can also follow too, just in case you forget. So here we can lighten and darken the shadows and the midtones, sort of like we did with the levels adjustment. So here we've got an auto fix button, or we have a button here where we can pull up shadows, we can pull up highlights, or we can brighten, or we can change our midtones. The next one we have here is called Perfect Portrait. So you can transform your portrait with these simple steps to get an eye-catching, flawless image. So here we have this smart blur. And you can see here, if we click down on this photo, you're getting the before, and if I let go, you're getting the after. And so as you move your threshold and your radius, you can see how it changes the look of your photo. The more of this you have, it's just as you move them around here, you're going to get a different effect. And so by default, this was at around 1.5, and this was up high. The more threshold that I have here, you can see the smoother the skin gets. When you're happy, you can press OK. And it's loading. Now we can click on this Reveal Original button. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to zoom in. And now I'm going to grab my hand tool here and grab his face. Now I can use my blur brush to bring back that blurring effect. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to undo that and lower the opacity of my brush. I think that effect is too much. So let's try again with a 50% opacity brush. I don't want to over smooth my skin. That's a huge rule here to skin smoothing. I can see here he's got some freckles, and that is part of him, and I don't want to take that completely away from him. And of course that is your preference, but that is mine, is that I don't like to over smooth. I don't like to look like plastic. Okay, so here then you have this increase contrast button, and you can add clarity to the image by increasing the contrast. And so there we have increased our contrast. And now we can go ahead and we can use a spot healing tool, red eye, brighten eyes, darken eyebrows, or whiten teeth, which I'll show you this one, some of these tools here in a little bit as we keep going through. Actually, let's go ahead and we're going to zoom back in. Again, I'm going to pull this down. So let's go ahead and just show this now. So this whiten teeth, this is a brush that is going to whiten as I select. Now you can see that I used the add. Now I can use the subtract to pull this down off his lips. And when I'm happy with that, I can maybe grab a darken eyebrows brush, and I'm going to need to make that smaller. This might not be something that you do for all of your boys, but I used a boy for this picture. The brighten eyes, you can see here that I can grab a smaller brush, and it does what it says. It's going to brighten his eyes here. Again, that's another one that you don't want to get too carried away with. The red eye removal I have to show you in a separate video. And the spot healing tool, let's really come in here. Okay, so you see here that he's got a freckle. It's very pixelated in right this second. But I'm going to grab a tiny brush, and if I just click on it, now it's gone. Just going to hit fit screen, and so now I can go ahead and just click done, and that will apply all of those changes to my picture. Recompose I will show you in a later video. Remove a color cast. Now you want to click on a part of your picture that's kind of neutral, and you can keep clicking around. Sometimes it's the white of the eyes. In this picture I don't really have any neutral gray or white parts to my photo, as you can see here. The closest thing that I have here is the highlight of his jeans. So, but you could use the whites of somebody's eyes if you're in a nice up close portrait, or if you're standing near a road, you could use the road, because that would be a nice neutral gray. Anything that is gray, black, or white, you can use this color cast selector to kind of help you set your white balance. So here we have a rotate and straighten. And so you can use this to rotate your picture, or you can use this to straighten your photo. And to use this, we're just going to kind of click and drag, and now it's going to straighten against this line that I've just made. And so now it made that line straight by rotating the photo in a way that that it made my line, it straightened with that line. So next we have scratches and blemishes. So again, we have the spot healing brush, which we used on his freckle. And so now we have a healing brush, which works similar to the clone tool. Let's see if we can find anything here to heal. He doesn't have a whole lot here that needs healed. So this is more for a larger flaw. So in order to use this, you would set a point by pressing Control and then clicking, and then you would be able to move that over somewhere else to use that as a sample spot to paint from. I'm just going to undo that because you don't actually want to apply that change there. But I'm just showing you that Alt and click would set your sample point, and then you would move that over to the bad area that you needed to fix. So next we have sharpen, and we can do an auto sharpen, or we can move the slider over to do our own sharpen, and you want to be careful about over sharpening. So now down here we have some photo effects, and so these are going to go through here and give you the effect that they say that they will. Here we've got a depth of field effect, and so here we can add a blur to our picture, and then we add a focus point here by clicking and drawing. And so now our background is kind of blurred, but our subject wasn't. We have high key here, so you could use one of their presets for color or black and white, and add a glow if you wanted to. We've got a line drawing, a low-mo camera effect, low key, old-fashioned photo, orton, saturated, tilt shift, vignette, which is probably the one, if you're going to use one, that you're going to use the more often. And so there's a one-click vignette, and you can turn the intensity down as well, or you can add it to make it more intense. And then down here we have a photo play effect, which kind of gives some very different effects to your photo. So here you can see that after it loads, you can see that we have now taken this to make a sort of a picture effect where we have a bunch of pictures laid out and they made the picture. So you can do different things with that. So you can do an out of bounds, picture stack, pop art, or reflection. So that is our guided, this is our guided mode. And so stay tuned for our quick mode, because we are going to do that in part 2. So thank you for watching this video tutorial. Happy editing!